The Black Death, 1347 to 1351. Welcome to medieval Europe in the mid-14th century, a time of flourishing trade, growing cities, and vibrant cultures. From the clamor of the markets to the quiet hum of village life, everything seemed to be thriving. But beneath this prosperity, an invisible danger was drawing closer, one that would change the course of history forever. The arrival of the plague. In October 1347, a trading ship arrived at the Sicilian port of Messina. But this was no ordinary vessel. It carried an invisible enemy, the deadly Yersinia pestis bacteria, transmitted through fleas on rats. As sailors succumbed to strange and terrifying symptoms, the disease began to seep into the very heart of Europe. This marked the grim beginning of what we now call the Black Death. The spread of the plague. The disease spread like wildfire, carried by trade routes that connected continents and cultures. From the bustling ports of the Mediterranean to the vast plains of Asia and the towns of North Africa, the Black Death traveled with an unstoppable momentum. It moved with the ships that crossed seas, the caravans that traversed deserts, and the merchants who brought goods to market. No one was safe, and no corner of society was spared from its devastating reach. Symptoms and suffering. Victims suffered from swollen lymph nodes, known as buboes, which were agonizingly painful and appeared in the groin, armpits, and neck. High fevers left them delirious, and their skin often turned black due to gangrene, giving the plague its ominous name. The disease was merciless, striking down entire families within days, leaving homes empty and streets eerily silent. Survivors faced the grim task of burying their loved ones, often in mass graves as the death toll soared beyond comprehension. Efforts to understand the plague. Doctors and scholars struggled to understand the cause. Some believed it was a punishment from God for the sins of humanity, citing biblical texts and apocalyptic visions. Others theorized that the disease arose from foul miasmas, or bad air, emanating from swamps or decaying matter. There were even rumors of poisoned wells, leading to widespread suspicion and tragic accusations against minority groups. Physicians of the time, armed with limited knowledge, attempted to combat the plague with methods like bloodletting and herbal remedies, but their efforts were often in vain. These varied and often desperate explanations reflected a world grasping for answers in the face of an unimaginable crisis. Social and economic impact. The plague disrupted every aspect of life. Fields that once provided food for entire villages were left untended, their crops withering under the sun. Cities, once hubs of trade and activity, became ghost towns as fear and death emptied their streets. Entire communities vanished, their names erased from the records of time. Churches tolled their bells day and night, mourning the dead, while survivors grappled with profound loss and an uncertain future. The once thriving rhythm of medieval life was replaced by silence, despair, and a haunting sense of abandonment. Acts of desperation and hope. People turned to desperate measures, from self-punishment by flagellants to fervent prayers in churches. Flagellants marched through towns, chanting hymns and whipping themselves in hopes of appeasing divine wrath. Meanwhile, entire communities gathered in dimly lit churches, their voices rising in desperate prayer for salvation. In the countryside, folk remedies and superstitions flourished as people clung to any form of hope. Despite the darkness, stories of courage and resilience emerged. Neighbors supported each other, caring for the sick and sharing what little they had. Though hope was hard to find, humanity's spirit endured, paving the way for recovery and renewal, the end of the plague. By 1351, the worst was over, But the world was forever changed. Nearly 1/3 of Europe's population was gone, leaving behind empty homes, overgrown fields, and a profound sense of loss. Survivors emerged from the shadows of despair, tasked with rebuilding not just their communities but their very way of life. The fabric of society had been irrevocably altered. Landowners, desperate for labor, found themselves negotiating with peasants, while cities sought to restore their bustling economies. It was a time of grief, resilience, and transformation, as humanity began the arduous journey of recovery and renewal. Long-term impact. The Black Death left a legacy of profound change, reshaping the very foundations of society. Hygiene practices began to evolve as people sought ways to prevent such a catastrophe from recurring. Cities implemented measures like street cleaning and waste removal, laying the groundwork for public health systems. The medical field also saw significant advancements, as scholars and physicians pursued knowledge with renewed urgency, setting the stage for future breakthroughs. Feudal societies underwent a seismic shift as labor shortages empowered peasants to demand better wages and living conditions, weakening the grip of the old hierarchies. This era of transformation was a testament to humanity's resilience and capacity to adapt, even in the face of unimaginable tragedy. Lessons from history. The Black Death stands as a testament to both the fragility and resilience of humanity. It challenges us to reflect on the lessons of history, to recognize the value of knowledge, the importance of compassion, and the need to work together in the face of adversity. By understanding the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us, we can better prepare for the challenges of the future and build a world defined by hope, progress, and unity.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more historical stories.